Hi everyone! So we are starting a new chapter, which is chapter 5, and chapter 5 is about Newton's laws and then also analyzing Newton's second law. So we'll be doing quite a bit of free body diagrams and then utilizing forces. So I just wanted to kind of introduce, I guess, Newton's first law and get some of the more conceptual things out of the way, so then that way on Monday we can start focusing on drawing free body diagrams and then also calculating different types of net forces for situations. So in chapter 5 there's actually quite a bit of information that we're going to cover. First thing that we will do are concepts of force and then what net force means, along with inertia and Newton's first law of motion. So we're going to cover these two today in the video, and then on Monday we'll really start on Newton's second law of motion. The chapter also describes gravitational force and weight. We'll do Newton's third law, then we'll analyze Newton's laws by using free body diagrams, as well as looking at objects that are in equilibrium. And then lastly, this chapter is going to focus on friction. Okay, so a force is something that is capable of changing an object's state of motion, that is, changing its velocity. So if we have a velocity change, then that means that we have an acceleration. So a force is something that's going to cause an acceleration. Now, any particular force may not actually change an object's state of motion. So I may apply a force to a really large boulder, but that boulder may not move because it may not be a strong enough force to move that object. So there may be other forces. If that object doesn't move, if that object's state of motion doesn't change, then there's other forces that may be preventing it from doing so. Now, if the net force, which we would consider the net force to be the vector sum of all forces acting on an object, if that net force is 0, then if the net force is not 0, my velocity will change. If the net force is 0, if the sum of all forces acting on the object is 0, then that velocity will not change. So I would not have an acceleration based on that.